We walk the footsteps of our fathers, the trail blazed by our mothers. They bought the land with their blood long ago, long ago. Aiel, Ogiers, and AudioBooks, oh my. Oh, sing of Manetheren. Oh, weep for the blood of Ammon. Oh, cry for Manetheren. Long ago, long ago. Aiel, Ogiers, and AudioBooks, oh my. Sing of Manetheren. Oh, weep for the blood of Ammon. Oh, cry for Manetheren. Long ago, long ago. Aiel, Ogiers, and AudioBooks, oh my. Sing of Manetheren. Oh, weep for the blood of Ammon. Oh, cry for Manetheren. Long ago, long ago. Aiel, Ogiers, and AudioBooks, oh my.
The wheel of time turns, and ages come and pass, leaving memories that become legend. Legends fade to myth, and even this myth is long forgotten when the age that gave it birth comes again. This is Aiel, Ogiers, and AudioBooks. Thank you for joining, and as always, we're joined by the lads.
Hello. Very good, Annie. Very good. There we go.
Hello.
And of course,
We
we'll
can
have Spurgsnake
officially
kick it
climb.
off, so thank you for joining, everyone.
Awesome. Yeah, thanks for hanging out. Good to see you, Matt. Excellent supporter of the channel. I love Matt. So last week we did some dark friending and got away from some danger. We were hanging out and we got to Camelin finally. We were in Master Gill's Inn, the Queen's Blessing. Very nice place so far. So that's where our chapter 36 picks up. Master Gill finally feeds the boys. That's exactly where the chapter ended. It was like an abrupt end. Let's get some food in you, basically. And so here we are, sitting in the common room, dining area. They're in the back corner table. Rand notices how thin the meat slices are with the gravy. Just a teaspoonful of, I can't remember, greens, I think he said. I don't remember exactly what it was. And then 2 potatoes, which I was like, whoa, shit, 2 potatoes. All right. At least it's all starchy, but there's your sustenance right there. You're going to have to like stretch it out with the gravy and a little bit of bite of meat on each, you know what you got to do. And so after the serving wench goes away, Master Gill leans in and asks the boys, so what's troubling you, lads? You're running from something. Tom's dead, apparently, according to you guys. So what's happening? And Rand gives a version of the truth. He leaves out the Trollocs and the Fades and some other parts. He does kind of make it seem like it's dark friends a little bit, like there's people that just show up out of nowhere and we don't know exactly why they want to deal with us. And of course Matt is like, oh, they're all dead. He's just being fearful again. I lost my train of thought. Rand warns Master Gil of the trouble that just helping them out could bring him trouble, and he's like, "No worries, boys. I've been through a lot worse than this. Ain't nothing bad gonna happen. Just be honest with me and all of that." So he explains to Rand that it's better to not go to the Queen's Guard because people might remember Tom, and then Gil mentions Elida, who is an Aes Sedai, and Rand was like, what about her? And he was like, maybe not her either, because she'll start getting at you, and she has a way of ferreting out things, and a way of getting people to spill their guts that might have something to do with the One Power. He doesn't quite say it, but
she's got like a truth serum aura, it sounds like.
Yeah, yes, right, exactly. Good point. So, and he says to him, Gil says to Rand, you're caught up in politics whether you want to be or not, because he can't ask for help anywhere really in that town, basically because of Tom's reputation there. So Master Gil gets a sharp look from the cook in the kitchen, and he knows what that means. He's like, I'm not even married to her, and she, is looking for chores for him to do. I'm trying to remember the quote. I didn't write it down. I thought I would remember, but she knows what needs fixing before I even know it's broken, or something to that effect. Like she's already on him, like taskmaster for sure. She knows what is going on in better than he does. And he's worried that it might be rats again. Like, so he goes into that, like they just came out of nowhere, and we have a little bit of history with what rats are, from earlier chapters, and that we know that they can be servants of the Dark One there, and so Rand is a little put off like that by that, and so Master Gil leaves. Wait, I think before he leaves, I'm not sure if this happens in front of Gil or not. I can't remember. I just listened to this again this morning, but I already forgot because I got a million thoughts in my head today. Matt gets upset, and yes, I think this is after Gil leaves, and he's like, "Rand, when you said we'd get to Camelin, we'd be safe. Now it's Tarvalin. We're not going to be safe." And he's very,
bit brash.
Really, he's upset, and he's whinging on about, we're not going to be safe. Nothing ever good is going on. And Rand kind of stares him down, is like, "Eat your food," and looks at him and says, "Eat," and keeps his hand pressed to the table because he's worried, he's nervous and scared of what's going on around him. And Master Gil has set up rooms for the boys. So after they eat, one of the other serving ladies comes up and says, "I'll take you to your rooms." They know where to go. And they haul their stuff up there. And again, cheerful Matt curls up, clutching his little dagger, and rolls over on his bed and faces the wall. And he's like, "Well, aren't you going to come back downstairs and talk to Master Gil about some stuff?" Like, "No." "Well, what about our friends? They're dead." He is on it. He is just, it's full on, like,
he's throwing a temper tantrum.
Very much. But it's also more, like, also last week, a very good parallel that I didn't catch until you guys brought it up. It's like, the One Ring, is kind of having how it affected, not Frodo,
Schmeagol.
Bill, yes. And even at the Hobbit party, when he was giving the ring to Frodo to take to Mordor, you saw how
so Ian
Bilbo's face,
Bilbo.
Yeah, his face changes, like, and I feel like Matt is kind of getting this, not so much in a physical way, like where he's getting sharp teeth and claws and stuff, but it is turning him inside out.
Do you get the impression that Matt was kind of holding himself together a bit? So despite us kind of being like, "Oh God, Matt's been a nightmare over the last few chapters," now that they're somewhere safe and like they know they're with someone they can trust as far as you can trust someone, he's kind of gone, "Okay, cool. Now I can just be what I've wanted to be in terms of like whatever's going on with me." Because even though before he's kind of been like, "Oh, can we trust him?" Blah blah, and he's like, "I'm sorry about that, Rand." He's got a little bits. And maybe he's just got a lot worse, but it kind of seems like he's held it there because he knew he had to get there for Rand to be safe and for him to be safe. And now he's just like, "Fuck it, I'm done."
I'm done.
Yeah. In the last chapter, he did mention, he was like, it was Camelin, and now we still have to go to fucking Tarvalin. You said we would be done. You said we would meet up with them, and they're still not here because they're fucking dead.
Yes, exactly.
So I think maybe you're right. I think maybe now that they're in the inn and they have a room, he's just like, fuck it, I don't care.
Yeah, he's very upset. So Rand heads to get away from all of this. Rand heads back down to the common room to talk to Gil. And Master Gil is nowhere to be found. Rand kind of speculates that he might be hiding, which I thought was quite funny. So he has one of the serving wenches. I'm going to use the word wench. Why not? For a little. Rand is sitting in the common room for a while, waiting for Gil, and he's watching passersby and all this, and he starts to get more paranoid. One of the Queen's Guard pops in for a minute, scopes the scene, and Rand is just like, ugh. He's just very nervous, and so he asks one of the serving wenches to take him somewhere more private, like a private dining room where he can just wait. And she suggests the library, and so she tells him where the library is, down the hall to the left, blah blah blah. You'll find it. And so Rand makes his way to the library and looks at all the books and is shocked by how many are in there. There's like hundreds of books, some leather bound, some cloth bound, wood bound books. And he's looking through the titles. One of them was The Adventures of Jane Farstrider, which sounded interesting. Just like the other one that sounded pretty interesting was The Adventures of the Sea Folk. And that was one that Rand was reminiscing on his dad wanting to read, and he misses his paw. And it's very sad.
Paw.
Yes. He doesn't realize, but there's somebody else in the room who makes his presence known and literally scares Rand. Oh, wait, did I miss something? I'm sorry.
Nothing important. I just want to give Rand a shout out for being a hot stud that he's getting hit on by one of the serving wenches. She's kind of like, oh, well, it's not about you. Don't worry. Oh, how are you doing? Blah, blah, blah. It's like, just get on with your job, all right? I'm not here.
Yeah. And then the running joke of like, I wish I had parents' way with girls. Now, let me ask, why does he even think that line? I thought he was into Egwene and stuff. So why is he thinking about this girl and being like, man, I wish I actually could be like all like, raise her up and stuff. It's like, no, you don't. You want to be with Egwene. So stop caring about wanting to have the way with girls because you already have a way with one girl. You're good, right? No, because you don't give a fuck about Egwene. Exactly. That's what I've been saying the whole time. He doesn't give a fuck about Egwene.
It didn't say that either. You gotta sow some oats.
I'm saying that.
You can be tied down and still enjoy the presence of another sex. You just don't have to act on it. That's why he's making that comment of. But again, I don't know why he's saying what would Perrin do, because Perrin seems like a noob. He's always like, what would Rand do?
Yeah, that's the joke. They're all clueless guys.
And Matt says the same thing. Yeah, it's a circle joke, and they all go around and they all think the next one's better with ladies. And the truth is none of them know anything.
And I think without kind of ruining,
can crack a joke. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, exactly. No, it's fine. I was going to say, without kind of ruining your big reveal that you got there, I was just going to say it kind of shows how far Rand and Egwene have kind of grown separately, like throughout this, that they did start off a kind of like literally like teenagers, kids, oh, maybe we'll grow up together. And we said early on, like, it's so stupid, like no way that like she's not gonna be even live in that town anymore because she's gonna have to be a wisdom somewhere else. He's like not cool with that. He's like, no, you live on the farm, you stay at home, have babies, I run the farm, that's it. So we already knew early on that it was never going to work with those two. But what's cool is they've had to grow up in this really scary kind of situation that I think they're both subconsciously kind of like when she was with Aram and he's kind of like how he's talking with like the wench and whatever, they're kind of realizing, like that was me being a kid and we were never really going to do anything. Even though it's not been confirmed, it's kind of like, I think they've already realized that it's not really meant to be.
I think Egwene was too big for Emond's Field to begin with. Like you said, she already had her. I'm riding a horse out of this bitch as soon as I can because Nynaeve's got this until she's 90, so I got to go somewhere else. And Rand was the one who was more or less the homebody and tied to being on the farm. But yeah, both of them now are experiencing there are other fish in the sea kind of thing. There is more things to just, cornfields and hay bales. So, it is nice to see them grow in that way. As Rand's reminiscing on his dad, Another presence makes himself known with a big, I suppose, like he was just kind of grumbled. The Rand turns around and we get a nice one of those. Another thing that's kind of comical, but not comedy, is where Rand is looking up and up and up and up. Because he's already a tall person. He's like 6'3" to 6'5" somewhere. And he's craning his neck looking up at somebody else who is like 9 feet tall or so, is almost topped to the 10-foot ceiling. And Randall goes, Trolloc, and like stumbles back and falls back into a chair trying to get his sword out, and he couldn't quick enough. And
no
quickly realizes it's not a Trolloc.
I am no tree.
Yeah. I forget how it goes exactly. He goes to say, "What are you?" But then realizes that's kind of rude.
Yeah.
And then he goes to say something else, and he's like, "Well, that's just about as rude as well." And then stands up to shake his hand.
Instead.
They actually go through introductions, and I thought that was kind of nice. He's like, "Oh, quit being a bigot, I suppose." And they make introductions. He says, "My name's Randall Thor," and goes to shake his hand, and apparently a huge ham hand comes down to shake his hand, and very delicately shakes back and says that his name is Loyal, son of Arndt, son of Holland, and gives him a little bow. And Rand takes that as a formality, and he's like, "It's a pleasure." He says, "Your name sings in my ears, Rand." And then Rand says it back, "Your name sings in my ears, Loyal, son of Arndt, son of Holland." Like he's like kind of like still in shock and awe by it. Kind of nice.
You know what's really weird with that, Spurg? Silly little comment, but it made me really happy to hear that like the first time when he said, "Your name sings in my," I was kind of like, "Oh man, I missed this," like because I've not read it for so long, and it's just like, I don't know, I really like him, even though I got him to represent Lou, who I hate. It was nice.
He's still here.
Oh, okay. It was nice to see him. I thought that was Cupcake. Sorry.
Took forever to get to him.
Real quick, while we're gonna smash you the likes, and good afternoon, everybody. I'm glad everybody showed up to hang out for a little bit.
Is this guy in the show, Lou?
Yes, and when the narrator did the voice, I was like, "Holy shit!" He's kind of mimicking the guy's show voice. That's how I pictured it.
It's vice versa, because this is 1991-ish, so
yeah. So
Michael Kramer is doing this, and it changes a little in the later books. I feel like Loyal's a little slow here. When he speaks, it's just a little bit more exaggerated and slow. It picks up a little bit, just a little bit. Like he hones it in a little better later on.
Yeah, the fact that he made his voice all deep was like.
Well, I would imagine the more time he spends around with humans and more like fast-speaking people, he would naturally pick up his pace because he doesn't want to seem slow. He seems pretty intelligent, just based on the little bit of a greeting here.
And he's a youngster.
Yes.
Yeah, so impressionable, right? He's a youngster, he's impressionable, and you're absolutely right, Annie. If he's spending time with them, he will kind of adapt to it. Sorry, no, go ahead. I just love him as a character. He's so good. He's so cool.
I was getting ready to, because we get an excellent description too. He's got really long white eyebrows that come around and hang down to the side of his face, big white tufty hair, ears that stick way up with little tufts of hair coming off of them. He's wearing a nice overcoat that flares out at the bottom.
Nose as big as a face.
Yes, it's as wide as his face. Almost to the point where he probably is the snout, right? That's what they say. Like, so
yep.
And he's a sweet man. He's Ogier. So, what were your impressions at first, just from the description? Like, we'll get into what he talks about here in a second as well. Or should I move into that? What do you think?
No, ask your question. That's fine.
Okay. Annie, then Lou, then Echo.
What was the question?
What was your quick impressions of Loyal there, based on the description you got out of the book?
Really interesting guy so far. I like the description. He reminds me of like Beast from X-Men.
Cool.
Oh,
nice.
Or Beast from X-Men meets Hagrid from Harry Potter.
Is it because he's smart, Annie? Is it because he sounds smart that you think?
And he's also a big like monster man.
Yeah.
Monster meat. I like that too.
Interesting. I got more of the tree beard vibes from him. But cool introduction. I'm just curious to know, are both his parents men? Because I keep wondering, those names just don't sound like anything a woman would be called.
What do you know about Ogiers? Errant could be a woman's name.
Shit. It's kind of like the fucking dwarfs.
I think it's generational.
Also, yeah, Spurg, I was going to make him sound sillier. Yeah, no, it's like Lou, son of Dave, who's son of Jim. It's like that.
He said son of this and son of that. It's like...
Yes, no, he's saying...
Yeah,
he's saying,
my dad and my grandfather.
And his dad is this. Yeah, exactly.
So, like, in my case, it would be...
that way, sure, but no.
Well, in my case, it would be Thomas, son of Thomas, son of Thomas.
Perfect. Yep.
It's true.
Son of pineapple.
Hey, at least it's shorter than those books of the Bible where it's like this guy beget this guy beget this guy because you know.
Oh yeah, that's a list. That was pages of a list. Oh boy. Yeah, but that's a good catch too, because that's exactly kind of what they're doing in short form, which we get into as we learn how their life works, their time works. Lou, you were going to say something?
Only thing, show didn't give him no white hair. They gave him, I guess, his natural hair color.
Yes, I saw the
all
picture.
Details count. Details have to count for some of this shit. I'm sorry.
I agree. Like, especially when you're getting, and that's kind of the point of the books, though. Like, you're getting such a description. It's like if anybody that was doing the show said, "Oh, we didn't really have anything," you had plenty to go on.
You could have put a fucking wig on him that was grayish or whitish, and made his eyebrows super long and all that other stuff. Like, those are just small little details. I'm sorry.
It wasn't an Ogier playing him. It was like
an
actor.
Jesus Christ. Green screen it, man. Green screen it.
Practical effects.
Look at fucking Josh Brolin. He's Thanos.
I'm happy about that.
No, Annie, they only had one guy from the steading that could play Loyal in the show, and he didn't look a thing like the actual Loyal. It was ridiculous, wasn't it, Lou? My opinion on this pretty much mirrors Lou's early opinion, not his later opinion. That was stupid. With regards to the tree beard, very much, slow speaking. Tree, I am no tree. Trolloc, I am no Trolloc. But I do want to give a shout out to Rand. He's been raised very well by his dad, not dad. Because he kind of realized, nope, that's rude.
Oh shit, I'm being racist.
Yeah, it's not a Trolloc. I'm being ignorant. I'm being an ignorant racist. So yeah, I like the description of him. I thought it was very good, and it matched perfectly what they did in the show. So thank you.
Excellent. Real quick, your name. Oh, it doesn't. I got to do it over here. I'm looking at my chat on there. There you go. It's right underneath your name, Mr. Pineapple, is a light blinded fool. Very good catch. And
in honor of you,
Mr. Light or Mrs. I'm not sure. The light blinded fool. I'm not sure. Wheel of Time Idol. So apparently there is a Wheel of Time Idol where videos I need to watch. I'm aware of them. I have yet to get through the playlist, and I'm glad you brought it up here because now I have people to keep me responsible for it.
What is this? What is it?
That's what I have no idea. I think it's parody videos because Light Blinded Fool has a parody video where I don't want to say too much because there's spoilers in it, but it's the Itsy Bitsy Spider. Which makes sense to you, Pineapple, I think, if you can remember.
Yes, of
anything
course.
About it.
Members only.
Okay.
Members only. Let's do a members only on Spurg, me and you.
All right. Yeah, of course.
That way, when no one watches, it doesn't matter because they can't see.
I know.
I know who's not Spider is.
Lou's not invited.
Yeah, I'm not invited, even though I know the Itsy Bitsy Spider.
It's okay, Lou. I'll gift you a membership.
No.
I got one, so I'll watch it anyway. So,
yeah. Okay, there we go. So, yes, there was introductions, and after the introductions, Loyal explains how he got to Camelin, and Loyal has it rough. Because Rand isn't the first person to mistake him for a Trolloc, we find out. He basically got chased with torches and pitchforks all the way to the inn where Master Bazagale kind of put him up and is like, you know what, just stay in the library, because even in the common room, Loyal kind of tended to scare some people off. But they even if they don't think he's a troll, like they're just like apprehensive for some reason.
Because he's like 10 feet tall.
It was terrible. And Loyal says, I didn't leave the steading for this. And then it clicks with Rand what Loyal is. Oh, you're an Ogier, which is, he definitely waited patiently to get the information that he wanted, because he wanted to find out what he was, but didn't want to outright ask. I suppose that might be rude. I remember at work years ago that a client came in and he had a very thick Eastern Bloc accent. Like, I couldn't pin it. Like, I didn't know if he was like Armenian or, whatever. So I was like, so where are you from? And he answered me, and I don't remember to this day now, because he, but he has a really thick accent and I really enjoy it, because I think I mentioned that to you before, Pineapple. I like accents. I like to hear people talk. And one of my coworkers after he had left, was like, that was rude of you. And I was like, was it? I was just interested. I didn't think he would care to talk about where he was from. If somebody asked me, I wouldn't.
It depends on how you ask it.
Well, and
now, if you would have like grimaced your face and be like, dude, that way you're fucking talking so freaky. Where the hell are you from? You should go back there. That's different.
It wasn't that. And you guys can see how I am now. And 2 cups of coffee, I'm pretty bubbly. Oh, I'm sorry.
The guy walked up to him. He went, "Oh, it's a pleasure to meet you." Put his hand out, and Spurg just looked at him and went, "Where are you from?" That's perfectly reasonable. He just went, "Where are you from?"
We deal with
exactly.
Yeah, exactly. I didn't even ask him his name.
Rude Pineapple. Golly.
Shut up, Lou.
Shut up.
You're rude, bloody.
So after Rand, after Rand figures out he's an Ogier, they get to talking. Finds out that Loyal's an Ogier. Thank you. They get to talking, and Rand asks him how old he is, and Loyal goes, "Oh, I'm 90." Like really casually, like that's not anything out of the ordinary. And Rand is like, "Oh, geez, 90? That's pretty old."
And so they can make it that far. It's like Loyal was such a smart ass back.
Yes. Oh, he does kind of sideways insult humans a couple times about our short lives here. But they get to, I'm pretty sure Rand asks him why he was leaving the steading, and he was like, because I got to see the world. He got itchy feet and he was reading books, and he heard stories and he wanted to see where the stories came from. And so he went and asked the Great Stump if he could leave. And by the time they were going to adjourn, he realized that he would be old enough to leave anyway. So, he basically ran away. He doesn't say he ran away. He was just like, I kind of left without anybody knowing-ish. He also mentioned that he's seen some other Ogier out doing stonework from steading Sifu. And he was like, they kind of side-eyed me, but they didn't really, they let it go. So, I got to be careful about traveling out alone.
Did you like his comments, Berg, when he goes, I'm not sure if they've realized I've gone yet. It's like, oh dear.
Yeah.
It's like, Jesus Christ.
And it's a little glimpse of how they operate, that they're very slow for decision making, and it's kind of sort of alluded to that he is young and immature, even though he's 90.
He's hot-headed.
Yes.
Impulsive. He's an impulsive son of a gun.
For an Ogier. He drops a little bit of lore about himself. He talks about how he read all those books and he does a lot of studying. He studied about the great cities, the ways, and the groves. He wants to see the groves. And Rand asks him, what about the great cities? Don't you want to go see all the great Ogier stonemason work that you guys did a long time ago? And he's like, Loyal kind of gives him the history of why the Ogier was doing stonework. Because humans keep breaking shit too, is why they keep fixing it to keep it nice. But the breaking of the world gave us stone, and it broke up where the Ogier were staying, and it was something they did to keep busy before the Steadings came in the pattern. But Loyal's basically like, meh, stonework and yay trees, so
he's very snobby with that, isn't he? It's great.
Well, I like the way he says it, because he says, like, try as you will, and no matter how well you are at it, you can't make stone live.
Exactly.
Well, maybe that's because he's not a wizard, but
a wizard, Harry. And that's it. He goes into talking about the pattern a bit and how it works. And I think this is one of the first times he mentions hasty humans and how we have short threads in the pattern and things. He mentions that the groves are disappearing in the cities. Like the one here in Caemlin's already grown over. One is a private garden for a king where he hunts deer all day.
In Tyr,
get to it. Yes, in Tyr. And he mentions one other one, and I can't remember offhand. And then we talk about a fourth one here in a moment. Yes.
I think that's later in the Two Rivers, potentially.
Okay, yes.
I'm not sure.
And that they're becoming, and Loyal kind of gets disheartened here that they're becoming distant memories because we as humans don't remember things. He explains the true name of Caemlin, which I didn't write down, but I should have.
I thought he said Caemlin was still Caemlin. I think it was a different city, like Chiron.
Yeah, it was a different city.
The name of the city was different?
Yeah. Caemlin is still Caemlin. Caemlin's like old but consistent. He passed through a city named like Chiron, which is like Chiron,
yes.
Something. It has like a really long name that's just shortened to Chiron.
Chiron, and it means Hill of the Rising Sun or something like that. Like it's on the flag, but they don't even remember what it really means because of the distance of time that it changed. You hasty humans. But Rand reassures him. He's like, you can't give up. You got to go see you got to be out there getting to see the girls. And that's the way of you people, isn't it? And, Rand goes, you people. And no, he doesn't say that. But so Loyal says a quote to Rand. He says this directly to Rand about his people. Till shade is gone, till water is gone. Into the shadow with teeth bared. Screaming defiance with the last breath. To spit in Sightblighter's eye on the last day. And then there's a long, awkward pause because Rand has no idea what that means.
It's not really that confusing. It's humans are defiant in Iron Will, and even on the day of reckoning and the end of all things, we will still use our final breath to be like, screw you, stupid idiot.
No, but I just mean, I think with that it's so beautiful because essentially it's the equivalent of me going to New York, walking up, like kind of looking at the like monument or whatever of like the 9/11 thing, and kind of going to New York and being like, never forget, and then being like, what?
It's 7-Eleven, mate.
It's not 7-Eleven. 7-Eleven. You motherfucker. But yeah, being like, huh? What are you on about? It's like Twin Towers, 2001.
Yeah, he's basically saying something to Rand that even if he understands the words, he doesn't understand the weight behind it.
Yeah.
So, which is again, like you said, with your name sings in my ears. It's just one of those great lines. This was another one that I really enjoyed because I was like, yeah, fuck yeah, man. It's one of those empowering kind of things. I don't know. I like metal music too, and that's the kind of shit that's in those lyrics. So it just speaks to me. Shut up, Lou. But that's so. This awkward pause goes on for a long minute, and it's another one of those things in my head where I play the scene out, and it's just like cut to Loyal, cut to Rand, and then back and forth for like a minute and a half, And so Rand finally, like to break the tension, says, "So what about the old trees?" And Loyal gets like even more like semi-offended or surprised in a way, and he's like, well, you of all people should know about Avon Desora, the tree of life. You should know this. You're an Aiel man. He's like, what? I'm not an Aiel man. What are you crazy?
Dun dun dun.
I'm a
big reveal.
Yeah, so we've gotten the name of the show. Yay, the name of the show, Aiel, Ogiers, and AudioBooks. We still don't know exactly what the Aiel are, but we know that Rand looks like one.
Oh, yeah. Audiobooks are confusing.
Not well, that's kind of meta, isn't it? Bring that part up. But Rand explains, he's like, I'm no Aiel man. I'm from the Two Rivers. He's like, oh, I'm sorry. I didn't, it's been a long time. Things have changed. My bad. And then Rand goes, oh, you might know this name. And he says, I'm from Manetheren. And then Loyal goes, oh, yes, I've heard of that place. Oh, yeah, I heard of that place. So, he was excited to hear about it, but then really it turns into sympathy from the excitement. And he says that there was a nice grove in Manetheren, and he's sorry that they didn't get there in time. He's taking almost personal responsibility, even though this happened 10 years before his lifetime, potentially.
Bro, if I was born 2,000 years ago, I would have been there, I promise.
That's exactly what he's saying. And then somehow that precipitates Rand to spill his guts again. Somebody's spilling the story out. This time, though, instead of with Master Gil, he tells the whole truth. He mentions the dark friends chasing them. He mentions Winter's Night, and he, just like me with my notes right here, right now, jumps around a bit. Shale Ghul happened. They split up. And this is one of the things that I had been waiting for. I try to avoid using this word the entire time to explain certain things that you guys were asking about. But Loyal, after hearing this fantastical story, even about the dreams, which Rand hoped that Loyal mistakes were just dreams, says that he is Taviran. You're Taviran, Rand. Rand's like, what the? Rand's like, what? What do you mean, Taviran? What does that even mean? It's a weird word. And Loyal kind of smiles. He's like, Master Hammond would be proud. I did study. I did listen. He's like, yeah, I know some shit. Hold on, I'm going to drop lore on you. And he mentioned the pattern a little bit before, and Rand was surprised that Ogier even believed in the pattern. He's like, of course we do. So we get a lot more pattern lore and how the threads are woven about, and people who are Taviran have a pool to them. P-U-L, there's threads are drawn and spun around them, and their lives are influenced strongly by that. And it sends ripples out throughout the pattern. And Loyal even suspects that his two friends are Taviran as well. And Rand is like, nah, none of us are Taviran. No, that didn't happen. I already got, I already got enough going on, right? Basically.
That guy upstairs with the dagger? I don't think so.
Nope.
Yeah, right. Well,
can I ask Annie something? At the moment, when he kind of tells Loyal all of this stuff, all these stories, how good would it have been? I know it'd be a completely different story if Loyal just kind of did a sly smile and then brought out a poison blade. It was like, no, everyone's a dark friend. Oh man, even this Ogier in the library, man. Jesus.
I wouldn't have been mad. I would have been like, yeah, well, they got me. The book got me. So
end of show.
Yeah, fooled me once, shame on me. I ain't get fooled again. I deleted this off my fucking hard drive. Screw you, stupid book.
Well, real quick while we're in the break, we will spit in Jeff Bezos' eye instead of Sightliner. That's pretty good, because some people may still be canceled at or bitter that the show got canceled.
Oh, for sure. It was getting better and better, wasn't it, Lou? It was genuinely.
See, that's the
last
thing.
season was great.
Oh, that ending, dude. The ending of fucking season 3 was so good. It leaves you on a massive cliffhanger. Yo, I can't wait for this to come back. And the following week, show's canceled, and you're like, fuck you, Bezos.
I am kind of glad for this show. I'm glad that it didn't continue, because I can only put up with it for 2 years before Lou can't go, well, in the show they did this. So on the third year, when he can't say it, it's going to be great. So yeah.
Well, again,
we will have a celebration party.
Again, we've got Rosemont Pike shopping the show around. There's a bunch of petitions going around. Even though they keep involving MGM, Amazon, I'm like, no, stupid. They just canceled this shit. They're not going to bring it back. So
maybe she has. I think she might have people there, and so she's got to convince them. You know what I mean? Like, it's a passion project for her. I thought it was a vanity project at first, but if she's still putting her heart into it, kudos, man. Because you're reading it. I tricked Annie into reading it without even having to show her the show.
no, like I said, I have a buddy who was just asking me now. It's like, yo, how are you liking the book so far? I'm like, bro, I'm enjoying the book. It's so much different from the show, and it's so good. He's like, he's kind of echoed the same thing you both have. Like, Perrin is his favorite character, and how Egwene and Naive get annoying as fuck. I'm like, oh, they're annoying already.
And here, yes, they are. And I will say this, that depending on how you feel about any of the women here early on, they can be insufferable. But there are other women characters that will be introduced in contrast that are much less, it's not, because this is a criticism. It's not the writer writing women poorly. It's that those characters are just kind of shitty people sometimes. You know what I mean? In comparison to other women characters. I like Nynaeve and her. I don't know. I don't want to say the C word, but she's like very forceful in who she is and confident, but it's to mask a huge fear inside of her. And I find that to be fascinating. I didn't appreciate it early on going through it. I feel like a lot of other people did. This fucking bitch, get her out of my face. Ugh. But I think she has one of the better character arcs from start to finish. We talked about the pattern. What do you guys think about Loyal's explanation of the pattern? Is that interesting to you? Was like how the wheel at times spins out this quilt-ish kind of thing we're all a part of. We all make a little bit of a tapestry, would be a better word, I suppose. Did you like that, or was it weird?
I don't have any additional comments on it because I feel like I already knew all of this. I feel like this has either already been explained or you can put it together based on everything everybody's told you. So it just seems like reaffirming, like, yep, this is how it is. So it was fine. It was nice. It's nice to hear it from somebody else in one continuous spread.
Okay.
I didn't care.
Lou doesn't care about the pattern.
No,
like, it's just there doing
give me
its
the
thing.
action and get to the good shit. I was happy we got introduced to him. I like the description of him being fucking so tall. He wasn't that tall on the show, but I digress. And it's Eccles' turn.
We really are pineapples and oranges, me and you, aren't we? Couldn't be more different with regards to that. No, I love it, and I think I echo slightly what Annie said. It's quite nice to have it kind of reaffirmed, but nice and clearly, and kind of in context maybe as well, where you kind of go, right, okay, so it's weird all these things are happening to him. Maybe it's because he's a Taviran, which has something to do with the pattern bending around. Got ya. Okay, that makes a bit more sense because I know about the pattern, but is that just like Bible speak? Is that just kind of like, oh, it's the light and the pattern? No, it's actually something a bit more real / magical / mystical or whatever. So
it's a lot more metaphysical than just a theory.
Sure, yeah, exactly. So I think that kind of makes it a bit clearer. But obviously, Spurg, me and you were kind of like, yeah, that's what the pattern is, So it kind of is harder to.
While we're here, something that did catch my listening was how he meant we kind of did touch on it, but the show never did, and I know Pineapple could contest. They never mentioned the Aiel in the scene where he met him, and I feel that little small detail should have been left in. It's like it's such a critical detail, but yet you left it out, and it's like, granted, I understand later in the show what happens, but still, these small little details play big factors.
It's a bit of an info dump, I think, with that, because it's essentially someone kind of going, I know I've described him a few times to you, and you've kind of go, yeah, okay, he's like 6'3", he's got like red hair, he's got grey eyes or whatever, yeah, got you. But it's kind of going, no, he looks like what people think the Aiel look like. So you might have had a few kind of hints earlier, but they're kind of going, no, it's very much like if a black person walks in, you'd kind of go, oh, do you originate from Africa? So, why would you think that? Because you're black. So yeah, I think that's just them trying to reaffirm to people that just comes like, yeah, whatever, like a description, whatever. It's like, no, pay attention. Like we're telling you this again for a reason. So yeah.
Yeah, that was a gripe in the show that I had is like, I feel like they didn't make Rand stand out enough. Ish. You know what I mean? Like they should have very clearly made him look different than, I mean, they tried and it worked to an extent, but and again, like
and his show counterpart wasn't no 6'5" motherfucker, that's for sure.
Really? Oh, I thought he looked all right.
He didn't look 6'5", dude. Because him and Matt were the same height. Even I think Perrin was a little taller than him.
I think Perrin was almost eye level. But I like with Behind You, Pineapple. I think the hair could have been redder. You know, it could have been. And there's another thing I'll bring up later as we get to that character. Taviran, Loyal did listen, pattern lore. What did you guys think of Taviran? Is that like a neat concept too? That there's people who have just like special influence, either whether the wheel picked him out or it just kind of happened. Like the Taviran happens, and it's neat in my opinion. I think that's a real life thing, and Robert Jordan kind of put a name to it. What do you guys think of Taviran?
What do you think, Annie?
I think it's kind of interesting. I like the concept of it. It gives literal weight to certain things in the pattern. So things get, like you said, pulled towards them. They have an orbit that, you know, things want to go around. During the conversation, he was saying that, you know, a Taviran has significant influence, that, you know, that things bend around them, but, you know, it's not absolute. Like you can't, you know, travel back in time. You can't literally fold the whole you can't do things that are impossible. But if you wanted to, you know, like carve your own path out, you can, because you have that sort of massive amount of influence. And I was like, oh, okay, that's cool. Would be interested to see more like how common it is, what causes it, is it intentional, is it like a mutation thing, is it a cosmic intervention? So be interested to see where that goes.
It's the Force. Move on.
in no way, shape, or form.
Well, the Force, even the Force, then it was initially like divine thing, and then it was a mutation because of retconning. So like,
nerds, right? Oh no,
go ahead, Echo.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so with regards to the world, I think it's kind of set up a little bit where, you know, a lot of people here kind of think things are predestined, you know, like that it doesn't matter what happens in life, the same thing will happen that was supposed to happen. So I guess that's the context that we're supposed to take here. But these three, like maybe just Rand, maybe the three of them, are kind of exempt to that rule, or they can at least affect that and change that to a degree. And I think that's a brilliant, bonkers kind of thought to have for a story, especially one where we've already got magic and stuff like that. And I was going to say dragons. I don't think there's dragons in this, is there? Anyway, with like magical stuff and what have you, I think it's cool that they've also got quite a lot of it's not right spiritual, but there's a next level to it, like we're saying about like the pattern as well. I think it's really cool that there's such a massive effect there. So yeah, I'm going to shut up before I say too much, but yeah.
Well, and that's Loyal was kind of trying to teach Rand about the pattern there. And the example that Rand gave Loyal back was, well, I can live on the farm, you know, outside of Emmonsfield, or I could have grown up in Emmonsfield. That's a small change that really the pattern won't mind. But if he tried to become king, the pattern would prevent him from doing such a huge change like that. And then, of course, that's we get a nice description of Loyal's smile too, where it's split this way. Yes, you get it. You're exactly correct. Happy to teach. We're going to hear this one a lot too. The wheel weaves as the wheel wills.
It sure does.
And apparently the actor that played Rand is 6'2". Holy cow.
I wanted to accidentally apologize again to Lou. So he's kind of right, but he is the same height as Perrin in the show, but they are both taller than Matt. They are considerably taller than Matt. So I think that's fine, because he's like a head taller than Perrin. So you can kind of forgive that, because Perrin's like really tall and really broad, but Rand is like taller. Is the whole kind of like, hey, I bet there's
More
not
lanky.
a guy taller than you in the whole of your town, is there? Like kind of shit.
Right.
Yeah.
And
I can forgive that. It's not Tom Cruise as Jack Reacher, is it? So it's
oh geez.
Oh boy.
Beating up 6 dudes in the street.
Hey, Alan Rickman is doing a great job.
So Loyal does, when he's explaining to Vir and to Rand, he mentions names we've heard in the past. Arda Hawkwing, we heard that a few chapters ago, and Luce Theron Telemond, which we heard way back in the beginning there in the prologue. Those two were also to Vir, and they had strong pull around them. So Loyal basically confirmed it, like that he is that thing. And I had been avoiding that word because you guys were asking questions. So why would somebody make this decision? Or why is Tom kind of following these boys? Well, he did have a reason, but there might be more of a pool to want to be around them, which leads right into this. Loyal wants to go with you. I want to travel with you. And Rand's like, dude, we're going to get you killed. You better go back to the steading and hang out and read your books.
Well, isn't Rand's main issue with it? He's kind of like, right, at the moment, I've got a guy who's sickly with a dagger, so that's going to draw attention. We've got this red-headed giant with a heron-marked sword, which is going to draw attention. Now we've got what people will call a Trolloc following us. No, we're good. We're fine. Jesus Christ. Stop drawing attention to us.
Yeah, no more red flags, huh?
Oh, the differences.
So Rand is now the one that's worried. Like you said, he doesn't want any harm to come to anybody else due to them being poor at hiding who they are. Excuse me. And then it's Loyal's turn to reassure Rand. It's like, you'll be fine, bro. But while you're here in the inn, waiting for your other friends to return, why don't you play some games with me? We'll talk, we'll chat. It'll be a good time. And Rand is very happy to do that. I don't know if my notes end a little bit right here. But he mentions a game called Stones, and we haven't gotten a full description of the game, but I think it's a real world game, and I'm not sure which one yet. But when we get more description, I'll bring it up then.
Checkers.
Right? We haven't. Is it checkers? I thought it was Go, because they mentioned like white and black sides, like, or Reversi or Othello or something like that. See, I was totally wrong on it. Well, that's why when we get to the description,
I only know
I'll ask you guys.
Checkers and chess are the two that I know. The fact that you came up with the third one, I went, okay, I'm probably wrong. Never mind. Skip.
Yeah, there's plenty of Asian stone sports, especially ones that involve flipping.
Yes.
Yeah,
skip that. I'm good.
So we'll get back to that one. It's very interesting. Yeah, so I thought that chapter ended well. We got some new lore. It was a little bit of a longer chapter, 36 minutes, not too bad. I think I got most of your guys' opinion out of it, but any other final thoughts before we move into chapter 37?
I like the length of these kind of chapters. These are the chapters I like. It's not too little, it's not too nothing. It's enough that it can be filler and not filler at the same time.
There is a lot of descriptions.
I think that's going to be a hint, right? If there's one that's an hour long, like, oh shit, okay, stuff's going down. If there's one that's 15 minutes, whatever, Lou's going to cry about this next week. But if it's about 35 minutes, it's perfect. It's got enough for a little bit of lore drop, but also some introductions.
So you're saying this next chapter Lou's going to hate?
Can we just skip it?
Aren't they all the same? I thought they were roughly all about
this fucking next chapter. Can we just skip it? It's useless.
Right.
This one here, 37, the one we're moving to?
Yeah, this fucking 19-minute chapter that was boring as shit. It's like you can literally run those two chapters together because of how it played. But again, it's like, let's bring in the woman to talk and run it into the next chapter. It's like, oh, fuck off.
Go on, Sweat.
All right, well, here we go. Chapter 37, The Long Chase. Nynaeve is horse sitting. That is the way the chapter opens up. She's basically in this thicket of skeletal trees. And those are my skeletal trees, my fingertips. And is kind of wondering where Landemorian walked off to. And in that meantime, we kind of get a little flashbacky catch up of where they've been. Landemorian and Nynaeve have been out looking for the boy with the coin, Perrin. And they were traveling in a direction towards him. But at a certain point, they lose the trail. Like they set up camp for the night, and Moraine says, "Oh, he's lost his coin," and they freak out for a second. Lan goes to sleep. Moraine's still sitting there. Nynaeve doesn't go to sleep. She's like, I imagine her sitting across the fire, just staring, just dead ass staring right at Moraine the whole time, just eyeballing her like a prisoner. Moraine says that Perrin is not dead. He just lost the token. And instead of sleeping, she stays awake, and Perrin gets the coin back, which we know happens because a couple chapters ago, Padron, the Captain Commander of the Children of the Light, had took all of Perrin's things away. Thank you, Bornhold. I almost said a different name.
Well done, Annie. Good work. You get promoted now. You're the
exactly. Yes, Captain Commander
Dragon.
Bornhold.
Are they called dragons in this? Am I getting that confused with another group of white-clothed guys?
Captain Cornholio.
No. So that now they know where Perrin is, and they start heading in that direction. Lan returns.
So I just do want to pause here and say I do sort of agree with Lou on that most of this chapter could just be non-existent. I do really like this chapter because of the time we get in Nynaeve's perspective. I like because it's very different than all the other characters' perspectives because of how she's constantly thinking about shit. She is constantly like
non-stop
talking to herself and you, the reader, and being like second guess. Like it's coming up, but she's like, I'm not in a competition with Lan. Oh wait, am I? No. Come on, we gotta keep focusing on the mission. And I like that she's arguing with herself while the going through with things. It's interesting because none of the other characters are like that. They're all men, so they have very straightforward thinking.
Unique, right. Right. Nynaeve is very unique in this way. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I was going to say, Annie, do we not owe Spurg a massive shout out for early on kind of pointing out that the chapters will become evident at some point who it's with? And he's so right. I didn't really fully notice that until, this read through, because you do to a degree. I did kind of remember if I read one, I'm like, this is going to be a spoiler alert. I'm like, this is going to be a fucking Rand chapter, or what have you, later on. But he's so right. You can really with Perrin, you can tell immediately. And I think with Nynaeve, that's going to be another one where you can kind of maybe just catch it from the vibe without any actual info.
Whenever they lost like the scent of the coin, she's like, Moraine, the inflappable Moraine.
Yes.
And I'm like,
yes, I was going to bring that up for sure.
I do like her sauce, like I do like Nynaeve and how bitter she is. I do.
Yes, that's because right. You're right. I think she brings that up as she lost the trail of the coin, and Moraine was like, "Oh, I can't find him," and oh, you're so unflappable. And we'll get to another part later in the next chapter where Nynaeve gets to showcase her attitude, her sassiness, as it were.
Don't you love with Nynaeve, Spurg, that every so often she has to kind of catch herself because she wants to be like, yes, we've not found the boys, and then she's like, no, that's bad.
Yes, right.
Like, oh, you idiots, they're gonna die, and it's all your fault. Oh no, that's bad. I can't be like that.
Riding that edge of wanting Moraine to be wrong so badly at the cost of her tribe, so to speak. Like those are her people, and she's like, oh no, that can't do that to her.
Yep. So even though I agree with Lou that all this could be cut, I'm glad it's not, because I do like being able to see Nynaeve's perspective.
Well, and not cut, but just it could have went with the other 20-minute chapter of where they were just having tea and being snarky to each other. It could have been a longer chapter.
Yes. They could have intertwined the voices and probably made it so much better, but no. They had to give us this perspective, and I kind of zoned out and like, I don't give a fuck, Nynaeve. You're fucking useless, bitch.
I think that this is part of the writing too. Like, Annie suggested for a game for me to play, and you got to work for the story. If you want to enjoy Nynaeve, you kind of got to work to listen to her. to enjoy
Yeah,
it,
you can't
like to understand. You, got to
can't.
work at that character a little bit, and if you don't want to, it's gonna you can like Lou.
You're
It's
so
I'm not
right.
gonna hate on you for letting it go by because why? You know, life's short, man. You don't got to tolerate this nonsense.
He's not wrong though.
I-
We're doing 3 chapters a week. Yeah, so just embrace it. Just embrace it. Who cares if normally you're like, I just like action. It's like, okay, well, watch a 90-minute action
Good.
movie
Now you get a
afterwards.
chapter you can hate on.
Yeah.
Well, that was my immediate thought too, Annie. I was like, "Oh, good, he's gonna get fired up because he's upset about this." And so you know, Nynaeve was kind of daydreaming about and catching us up about the unflappable Moraine and her mistakes on trying to track down Perrin. And in that meantime, Lan does it again. He sneaks up on it and even kind of, gives her a little scare. Ooh. And says that she's needed, and come on this way. And so leads her, Nynaeve, up to a ridge where they overpeak and they can see a bunch of little tents down there. Oh shit, it's an encampment, and it's a white cloak encampment with about 200 soldiers or so. Apologize if you can hear my furnace. And Lan says to both of them, thank you, that they took Perrin prisoner, and they're like, and then you immediately, why? And even Lan is shocked that they took Perrin prisoner. What interest would they have in a farm boy? Even though the White Cloaks don't need much to go on to, name you Dark Friend. It seems a little, unless Perrin was acting suspicious, there's no reason they should have been screwing with him, and so something's up.
The children of the light.
And here, Nynaeve has a bit of a thought. Well, Lan's a warder, and so she goes straight to him. Can't you just go in there and get him out? And Lan kind of, I think, smirks a little bit, like, like I would if it was that easy. But I like Nynaeve's thought. The stories must be true at some degree, right? We hear all these wonderful things about warders. Well, magic your ass on in there and get my boy. Come on now.
But
So
ain't it so obvious how kind of half smitten she is with him that everyone else is just like, blah blah blah, and with him she's like, well, like you could just go in there, right, and just kind of like,
you can sneak past 200 guys and kill them if you need to, and get them out, no problem.
I've got no doubt whatsoever in my mind that you're like superhuman and you can't be stopped by anyone. And look at that armor that you've got there as well. It's like, all right, Nynaeve, calm down.
go ahead.
I can take on 200. I mean, I could take on 20, not 200. The odds are a little stacked against me. Even with my friend over here, the Aes Sedai, who's probably going to cause something real fun to happen.
Yes. I do. That was a good moment. Just a quick little, because we don't get a lot of romance early on between them two, and they're kind of like, you can see it a little bit in little interactions like this. And this is the second time he snuck up. This is the second time he snuck up on her too, and I think this is something I caught this read through. I think he's enjoying it. It's not explicitly stated, but he did it outside the inn where he scared her in the hallway. He did it somewhere else in between that, and then he did it here again where he snuck up on her while she was.
He's like a boy on the schoolyard where he's like lightly shoving her. It's like,
yeah, hey,
I scared you, right? I scared you.
I got you.
It is so sad when they both die in book 2, though, isn't it? That is the worst.
I know, right?
Right.
It's first chapter.
Ooh, what a spoiler!
Actually, it happens off. You just find out about it when you start the next prologue. They're just you get told. You don't even get any.
Oh no! Oh, look at the new warder, Jeffrey.
I love when characters are killed off screen and replaced.
Yeah, Wait, Chalky, good to see you. So Lan and Moraine plan a little bit. He says to her, there's 2 guards down there doing their routine. If you head down there and cut the horse lines, when something happens, all the horses should run and scatter, and we'll make our move then. He says that if you're half as good as I think you are, this should be a breeze. And Nynaeve's heart start pounding. She's like, yeah, it's one thing stalking rabbits out in the woods. This is guards. He thinks I'm good. I'll do it. There was not even that. It was like, oh, he thinks I'm going to be good at that. All right, let's do it. And
I gotta impress Lan.
Yes, and so he warns her of wolves, and again, she's like, oh, I'm just a farm girl who wouldn't know anything about that. I just grew up around shepherds. You think I would know something about wolves, you So, again, he's well, let's be about it then. Lan is pretty much like, let's do it. Time to go. Moraine grabs Nynaeve on the way out, I guess, and says to her, be safe, take care of yourself, kind of wishes her well. You're part of the pattern. You're part of this too, and I expect you to return in one piece. Don't do anything stupid kind of stuff. All right, bitch, I'm on my way. It wasn't that bad. I think Nynaeve was almost a little...
If we could edit anything in a book, I would edit bits like this, where as she walks off, she just mutters under her breath, like, bitch.
Yeah, exactly, right?
Bitch. Just like,
I don't need your compliment, you fucker.
I'll sit closer to the mic, Nick. So, yes, Nynaeve starts to sneak off. This is where we get to the part that Annie had mentioned, where she's like climbing down. She slides down the hill a little bit, and she's like, fucking bullshit, like... and cracks and breaks some sticks and leaves and makes a bunch of noise. And she's like, well, I'm not in competition with Lan, am I? Am I? She is. That's part of her nature, is to compete not with herself, but with the standards of others, which we'll see again here in a few short moments. She sneaks to like near the first horse line and is watching the guards. They're running their circuit. But they're very bright brownish. They're like, armor's bright, their cloaks are bright white, so they might as well be wearing a lantern or a flashlight in our case. And they're very robotic. So Nynaeve is watching them do their pattern a couple times. And I think it's the third time she does the count and makes a run for it. It's like when they turn back. They do that ritual thing too. Like, I think it's funny. I don't know why, but it's like, all is well, at 3 a.m. It is like, all is well with the light and the shadow, and then the other one repeats back to all is well on my side with the light and the shadow, mate. And they just turn around and stalk off. They're not even doing they're not paying attention to anything else except staring straight forward. It's like the most ineffective guard duty I've ever heard of. But
I swear to God, Spurg, when I heard that, I kind of wasn't paying too much attention, and I was kind of like waiting for the bit where kind of either Lan or Nynaeve have to be like, all's well with the in the light from the shadow. Like, just kind of trying to guess what the answer is. I was just like,
right. That's the dude. Such good characters too, this is why I like this book too, because I mentioned it earlier. Like, I kind of see how scenes play out in my head, and there's another one coming up that we're gonna have fun with too.
That happened?
To me, this is just like a bit boring video game stealth section where you just have guards just...
Yes, it's a very Metal Gear Solid. I'm glad you're with it. Yes, it's exactly what was going on in my brain. So it's dun 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 dun. Nervous as hell. Nynaeve gets to the first rope. She's cutting through it. She gets to the second one. She cuts through that, and she's on the third one, and she's getting really paranoid. Like, one horse whinny, and it's all over. Oh, jeez. And so she starts getting a little bit of self-doubt. And again, reasons very well to keep going. She compares what Lan would think about her. Like, she knows him well enough that he wouldn't judge her for it, and he would accept her reasoning. But she thinks that he would have a level of not disrespect, but not as much respect could have been earned had she got all 5 or 4 horse lines cut. And so she makes her way to the next horse line, still slightly in competition with herself and Lan at this point. She's living up to what she thinks his standard would be. And as she gets there, she sees a outline of a horse she recognizes. It's Bella, my favorite horse of all time. And seeing Bella lets her know that Egwene is there, even though she senses Egwene. And knows that she could point right to where Egwene is at, and that it has to do with the one power, and kind of starts to laments, knowing that's what that's about now. And I'm pretty sure it's right here. She says, "I wish Moraine would have never even have told me," which we know is detrimental, and also builds on who she is. Like, she really doesn't want to be a channeler. Like, she likes being a healer, but she doesn't want to channel. It's like a bit of contradictory there, because you're not seeing your own potential.
Yeah, it sucks that you get a lot of perks you don't like out of it. Sorry.
Exactly. I think it's more reputation than anything too. So yeah, laments the power, and so she's waiting for like she's got Bella there. She's petting Bella. She reaches over to another horse and was. It's a little bit of a foreshadowing. Like she was nervous with Mandar, Belan's horse, because he's a war horse, and he was a little. The horse was a little apprehensive to being pet, but after she got close enough to pet Mandar, but it was cool. This horse, on the other hand, a white cloak horse, was like, "Hey, come here! I see you're petting that horse. Come pet me too!" Like, and was ready to, no worries. I'm going with you. You're friendly. And then she starts. If Moraine's going to do something, she needs to do it now. Come on, hurry up now. It's time to go. And of course, now it's time. The lightning starts striking out of nowhere. And immediately the horses decide to go in either direction and almost rip Nynaeve in two. She feels her shoulders get separated, sort of like, pulls her, which I thought was also funny. Because and again, like with a scene that's in your head, I imagine her getting lifted off the ground as well. Like, whoa. And, before regaining the reins on them. So she crawls up on the back of Bella and leads the other horse out of the woods a little bit, and she passes a wolf, which is referred to as a shadow of death coming towards her. Like she could just feel that on the wolf, which I thought was another one. Blames Moraine for doing something with the power and drawing the wolves there, and then heads off into the old distance.
Right, she sees the wolves and she's like, "You crazy lady, what are you planning?" Right, because Moraine is a wolf bender.
Right,
could you imagine what she talks to wolves or something?
That would be insane.
That'd be so
how generic is that too, right? I mean, anybody can.
Honestly.
All right, so I already got you guys' opinion on that chapter. Could have been cut. It's nice because there was some things in there.
Why? Okay. When you're on your fourth read through, guys, you'll be like, "No, you guys were right. They shouldn't cut anything. It's great. I love getting all of the little bits as well as the interesting action bits." So in 10 years,
could doesn't mean shit.
In 10 years' time, you can come back to me and you can be like, "Echo, you were right." Okay, but until then, fair enough.
Yeah,
I stand by that. I like this chapter.
It'll take us 10 years to get through this whole book series.
I know.
Maybe. Here's the thing. I already counted it out. We're about 5 episodes away from finishing the last 3 chapters. It's this episode and 5 more. Nice. 4 more, and then the last one.
Merry Christmas, everybody.
Exactly.
Yay.
Welcome to the Christmas break.
So yeah, I agree with Annie. I do like the Nynaeve perspective. I do like she's still as stubborn as always. And I think it's more to point out that, like Echo had mentioned, there's a little bit more romance-ish. It's kind of there. It's not really explicitly said, but they do flirt a little bit. She's thinking about Lan. And here in the next chapter, we find out more about the vice versa. In chapter 38, rescue. Who's getting rescued? Obviously, we know who's getting rescued. It's Perrin, because he's trapped down with the... Yeah, exactly. Who also does need a rescue of a sort.
He actually does. You're not wrong.
Perrin is not
all that would take to save Matt is a really good pickpocket.
Say look. I like Lou's quiet response to that. Very good. So we find out Perrin is not sleeping on the rocks because he can't, or on the ground because he can't because of rocks, and they're all digging in him. And this guy's had it rough. This is where I started to I'm like, oh fuck, man, Perrin had it rough. I mean, I know the wolf thing is a little much, but he's taking blame for killing 2 people. I don't know if he did or not. In the chapter he kind of blacks out, doesn't he? I don't think we.
Yeah, he doesn't know. But I think he does. I think he kind of. What did we say? The barbarian thing? What's that called?
Berserker Rage.
Rage.
I think we're never supposed to know, but I assume it's kind of Berserker Rage, right?
Right. Okay. Fair. I will relate.
I think we're supposed to kind of think
he blacks out, whether his body's stopped or not. We don't know.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. Exactly. Well, and that's the thing.
And I assume it dies by like
towards
an
the end of this chapter.
I think it's probably like obvious, right? When like the bodies are there, if they're like got loads of bite marks, what happens? Right. No, yeah, I get what you're saying, but also I think when there's like, I don't know, where they're like 10 brothers that died in total or something, where like, so 8 of them would just have bite marks on them and maybe a few stabs from Elias or whatever. Whereas there would be 2 that have got massive axe marks on them. And so it's like, oh, okay, all right. Like, but we never fully know. So yeah.
Okay. Oh, thank you for saying that too, because I wasn't sure if we fully knew or not. If it's ambiguous, I also like that.
Yeah, I don't think
it like you said, it's left up to us to decide whether he was doing that or not. And I think, yeah, I agree with you guys. I think he just, because later on we find out what happens in this chapter, like what potentially could be happening. So it's been a slow and painful travel. We get a lot. Like this chapter is 36 minutes, but there's a lot of descriptors. Like both Perrin and Egwene are basically being drug along in the thing. I forget what they called it, but it's where your wrists are up and
stocks.
Yeah, so as there's no horses for them, and they're walking along all this time, and they're being pushed pretty hard. Perrin is worried that if he falls, that they're just going to drag him. But here's the thing. So not only were they in the stocks, but they're tied up all the time too. They're under maximum security, tight watch all the time. Like they are the scum of the earth. They're going to do something. They're like the worst people ever kind of, treatment. But we also find out that Perrin's not sleeping because he's got a racing mind. Something's bothering him. He just can't stop thinking. It's not necessarily wolves trying to communicate with him. It's just a feeling of angst and racing thoughts, which I said like 3 times. Child Buyer comes in, and wait. I skipped a little bit. Maybe I didn't, but no. We get with Perrin's thinking a lot, and then it goes back to some flashbacks where Child Buyer is like matter-of-factly talking about torturing them because that's basically his job. And
there's no pleasure in it. There's no kind of hatred in it.
Right.
It's just that's fact. So he believes it, right? Is he saying, okay, I think he's genuinely just being honest with me?
And I think that works as an effective, like he's softening him up mentally. Like he's already like beating Perrin down by telling him in this tone of voice what he's going to do to him because he's a dark friend and he should just die. Makes Perrin feel some type of way. Like hearing this, like the coldness of it is
the matter of fact, the detachment, the fact that he doesn't care that he's doing this, he's just doing it because he's doing it.
Right, like the White Cloaks hate. Like Perrin knows that the rest of the company hates him for slowing him down, for being a dark friend or whatever. They stare at him, they give him sour faces. But it's different with Buyer. He makes a point to say it's very different. And Perrin also is like, how am I supposed to convince these guys I'm not guilty when they've already pronounced me guilty? So there's definitely no due process. There's like, we heard the rumors, good enough for us, you're out.
Before you get into the Child Buyer bit, can I just say to everyone here, this is a great bit to kind of base your judgment on Perrin on. Yeah, because I don't think it's always as blatantly obvious of like what kind of person he is and what kind of thought process he has. But here they spell it out for you. They literally go, this is his thought process bit by bit. And it's kind of like, cool. Okay. You're not slow. You're just smart, really. So yeah, sorry.
Oh, exactly. Real quick. Yo, Connor, what's going on? May you find water and shade, my friends. Another great thing to steal from this book series to say to your friends. So this is where like we got that a little bit of, I don't want to use the word flashback, but like a reminisce of Perrin thinking about the last few days, why the children hate him so much, how they're slowing him down, and worried about, are they dead or not? They're already presumed guilty. What's going to happen to them? And then Child Buyer comes into the tent and kicks Perrin in the back and says, "Get up!" And Perrin lays there for a moment, and he hears Buyer's boot scrape back again to go kick him again, and he's like, "I'm up," because you have to answer Buyer, otherwise he's going to just keep doing shit to get an answer out of you. And then Perrin quickly thinks before Buyer can go do it to Egwene to wake up Egwene, and it's told to us that Buyer isn't even He's not even upset about it. You know, he's just like, okay, I don't have to do that now. Like, you know what I mean? Like he would have done it just as a matter of fact as anything else, which is kind of strange in a way. And then Bayer explains to him, just like I said, you're slowing us down, dark friend. You know, and goes on a nice diatribe. So basically, he's setting Perrin up to escape. You know, if you got loose and the guards were looking the other way, because he explains it all in great detail too. Like we gotta get to Camelin, but Bornhold wants to take you to Amador for trial, and we're not going to be able to make both. We got to make a decision here. So I think Bayer took it upon himself. I think this is without Bornhold's permission, by the way. We don't know one way or the other.
Sure.
100%. Yeah.
Okay, so you
thought of me.
No, he seems to be Bornhold's right-hand man, and Bornhold seems to care about the objective, and he's taking it upon himself to be like, yeah, but the real objective is getting to Camelin. We don't know why that's so important. But he's like, even though I'm positive these guys are dark friends, I'm going to let them go because getting to Camelin is way more important than getting them to some trial because this guy might be able to talk to wolves. Don't give a fuck. We're getting to Camelin. So yeah, I'm ready to literally free these prisoners against all good, rather rational judgment because I care about the one objective more than Bornhold does.
I would say, Spurg, I might ruin a little bit here. I do apologize if I do. But Annie, with that, what? Okay, all right, I won't then. That's fine. Go on. I was just going to say, with that, Annie, Perrin explains that's not what he thinks. Like, so the overall reason might be, yeah, we do have to get to wherever it is, and we can't go to I'm bad with names. The other place to put him to trial. He's making that decision. You're absolutely right. But there's zero part of him that is like, and then we turn a blind eye. You guys leave, we leave, end the thing. Because Perrin goes, hang on.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then Perrin even goes, hang on again afterwards. And he goes, actually, the fact that I didn't immediately go, oh, thank God, great. He's like, oh, shit, no. Either way, I'm fucked. Because now they're like, well, you're going to blab and open your mouth, being like, well, that dickhead gave me a rock to rip my things, and I refused to go. He wanted to, yeah, sorry, Spurg, but I just.
No, you're right on. That's right. That's exactly what the next notes are, is that Bornhold explains that he's setting him up escape. But Perrin reasons it out. He's like, why would Bornhold do this, or Bayer do this? Why would Bayer, the man who hates me more than anybody else here in camp, is going to let me go? No. He set me up to get killed because the two guards outside, even he says they're going to be looking the other way, and us dead is easier to deal with than having to deal with a trial. No, I'm not falling for it. And as Perrin's reasoning it out, he gets a text message from a wolf, help comes. I mean, it wasn't really a text. It was more like a smell and an image and, maybe some water scent or something. Who knows?
They send you like a 1 second brain clip.
That's the shortest bind / TikTok.
So you get all the feelings, the emotions and sensations, the experiences, but it's all just like, all right, there you go. You get that one little clip. You interpret why I sent you that clip.
Exactly. Is it? Yes, it is that too. You got to interpret it. Okay.
Is it Bornhold, the guy who's in charge, right? He's the leader of the White Cloaks or what have you.
Yes, this platoon.
We got to remember as well from the chapter before when we spoke with him, he was very fair, despite kind of being like, you're burying yourself here. And he probably intentionally, because he's smart, was kind of letting them bury themselves, but not in a malicious way. He's kind of like, come on, guys, like, you're young, like, maybe I can save you from the shadow. Not you, Perrin. Like, he's even like real with him. He's like, not you really, mate. Like, you did kill Turfus. Unfortunately, that's too far. Like, but for her, there's a chance. And like, I'm not going to be too unfair on you if you can try to explain yourself, but that's why I'm kind of like, I don't think he knew, because that's kind of not what he's like. No, we're about justice, and like, even if it does mean that for the greater good we don't get to go to these places, we still got to follow it. I think is his rationale anyway.
Correct, and it was remarked that Bornhold even sounds like a grandfather to them, like he's the disappointed granddad. Like, you guys, come on! I give you every opportunity to tell me the truth.
Oh man. Not angry. I'm just disappointed. Let's move these corpses.
Yes, exactly.
That's what my granddad said to me. Yeah, for sure.
And you're just like, oh. So Perrin texts back, is Elias okay? And he gets an image of Elias in a cave with a wound in his side. He's like nursing himself. So he's hurt. He's not dead, but he is not okay either. So as he's looking at Bornhold, he gets like a weird smile on his face because this is happening in his head. And Perrin for a second freaks out, thinks that Bayer knows what's going on, but he can't. Never mind. And he says, and before anything else could happen, Perrin sees a dark figure come up and take care of the guards outside. Like the first one goes down pretty quick, and then you hear like a loud ka-chunk on the side, and like he just gets knocked the hell out. And I'm pretty sure Perrin sees its Lan at this point coming in to fight Child Bayer, which is another one of these scenes in my head. So Bayer turns around and sees Lan and then takes a swing at the axe, and the axe goes by his nose really quick. You know, like Lan is like Matrix dodging this axe, and the breeze goes by. What up, Chris? So as it throws Bayer off balance, then its ninja fucking Lan comes in with like a 3-piece combo, like pow, 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 and then karate chops him on the back of the neck and puts Bayer completely out.
I viewed it a little bit differently because he says hand and foot, so he does that
Okay.
that the anime dodge. He goes like a little fury fist and then leg sweep, knock him down on the ground.
Okay.
I think it very much kind of set the levels that people are at as well pretty well for us, because he's like second in command. He's like probably a young guy, pretty good at fighting, you'd imagine, and then Lan's just kind of like boom, and he's like, right, there you go. Didn't even have to kill you, to be honest. You had a war axe, and I just kind of disarmed you. So yeah.
Lou, how you feeling so far? And we got a little bit of action. We got some more stealth, and then this is like the only start of the action.
This stuff is all interesting, you know. Joe didn't do it, but hey, I digress.
So just after that, Egwene starts crying, I thought you were all dead. And then Lan kind of smirks. He's like, not yet. You know, like
telling him, hey, calm down, be quiet. We're still not out of the woods yet.
Yes, that's what he says. We're not out of the woods yet, girl, you know, basically. And he instructs them to grab some cloaks so they can disguise themselves. So they all three of them, or well, two of them, they both pick up cloaks and follow Lan out of the tent. Perrin's a little disoriented because it's dark out a little bit. Like he's like, where did everybody go? Like every which direction looks like a bad way to go. Mm-hmm. No, we're still in the first book, Chris Mack. Have we met Gareth Bryn yet?
Until
another
Christmas.
Great side.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yes. Oh, yes. We do meet him in this book, though.
Do you think anyone looks over and goes, oh, look at that 5'2" white cloak that we've all of us.
Yeah, no, I was going to ask you guys about that, too. So here's how it goes down.
What, the white cloaks have a specific size that they got to be? Like,
no, just men in general, though, right?
If you're gonna be in a militaristic group, I would imagine you have to have at least a certain physical stature. Yes.
Yes, yeah, exactly.
You're going to be 5'8" minimum, right? Probably a bit more. Yeah.
That one went over my head. Honestly, Pineapple, I didn't think of it that way.
That's just a little jokey, but yeah.
That they had to be a specific height size. Oh.
But also remember, Perrin's huge. Remember, he's the second tallest person in town. Lan is like a master warrior, so he's probably tall as well. I can't quite remember, but he's probably like nearly as tall as Perrin. So they've got like the tallest versions of guys walking around, which you could get away with. But then you've got a really tiny little Frodo.
He's gotta go in, yeah.
Hey man, that white cloak. White cloak says it all, bro. They don't care as long as you're in a white cloak.
Yeah, pretty much. Well, and here's the thing. So they don their cloaks, and now they're waiting, and Lan says, wait, soon, lets them know. And then all of a sudden, some lightning starts coming down. We're familiar with this. We got that last chapter. So lightning is striking so often, it seems like the darkness is what's trying to close in, and it's described as a hail, a lightning storm. And so Lan leads those
tumbling.
Exactly. Lan leads Egwene and Perrin out of there, like they're kind of holding hands. I think Lan has the axe in one, Perrin has the other end of the axe and is holding Egwene's hand, something like that. Like they're in like a little bit of a trade.
Yeah.
The White Cloaks are completely confused. They see them around there, and I think they make like they don't say hey, like they don't literally shout at it, but it is confusing to them to see these three weirdos. Like one of them is probably dragging their cloak behind them because they're so short, and that's what would also look suspicious. But nobody stops them, nobody questions them. Just it's going down. You know what I'm saying? And so they make it out of the camp.
Stumbling.
They make it out of the camp and to the tree line. They see three horses off in the distance. They get up to the three horses, and Moraine is extremely annoyed because Nynaeve has not returned. She's afraid that Nynaeve had done something stupid. And so Lan turns on his heels to go save her, and Moraine's like, nope, stops him from doing it. And this is the other side of that where we see Lan looking to go back to get just her. If it was anybody else, I don't know if he would be making this decision or not.
Especially more than just the one heel turn. Like when Moraine said no, he would have been like, "Oh, okay, yep, you're right," and then would have walked. But she had to keep on and say some more to him to make him drop it. So I think
him by his whole government name.
That's right.
And I think she added the title of I can't recall, but. She added a title.
Yeah. Son of the Morning or whatever the fuck it is. Yeah, one of
and
those.
Perrin was like, he's a lord?
Yeah. That's so like when Moraine stops him, she's like, no. And then explains in a less harsh tone that some things are more important currently in the pattern or not. And he hesitates yet again, and that's where she invokes his government name, like Lou says.
Yeah.
Lord of the Seven Towers, Diadem of Shinar.
His name's Alan.
Battle Lord. Al. Yeah, Al Mandragon. Yes, Alan. It is Alan.
Exactly.
I would go by Lan too.
Yes, right.
Do you know what that makes me think of with regards to what she did there? Is when you're at home and there's like something going on outside and like your wife's holding the baby and you're like, oh, I'm going to go outside and see what it is. And she's like, no, Echo, whatever, pineapple, you stay here. You've got responsibilities. I was like,
you got to play with this dog here.
You've got responsibilities here. You've got greater things than just wanting to go outside and kind of help whoever's out there, So yeah.
It's okay, pineapple.
Yeah, it's very much mom
your little videos
kid.
of your hot dog.
He is. The other title will be the uncrowned king of Malkir. I said Shinar to Malkir is what she says. And Al means royalty. That's also part of the book lore. Yes, Malkir. That's right. It's later on because Rand Al Thor, like they talk. I think they mentioned in passing that it's like one of those things, which is neat. I like that little bit of world building that you just get like that. Like we know what that is, or you could suss it out and figure out what they mean by it. So before anything, that tension kind of escalates between Moraine and Lan. Nynaeve does return. On Bella. Bella! Yay! Everybody's happy to see Bella. Nynaeve slides off of Bella, hugs Egwene. Yes. Oh, Lan grabs Nynaeve by the arm. Yes, but Lan also grabs her by the arm and looks at her before letting her go. And as Nynaeve is walking up to everybody else, Perrin and Egwene, she kind of chuckles to herself. And Perrin remarks that it's not anything to do with anything that just happened. It was he couldn't see it, but we're supposed to catch it like, oh, Nynaeve scared him a little bit. It made Lan nervous, made Alan nervous. He has a crush, ninny boo boo. And I think Moraine doesn't like it a little bit. I'm not sure. It's not explicitly stated. There might be a little bit of, why wouldn't there be a little bit of jealousy, huh?
They could sense each other.
That's true.
They sense each other's thoughts. So if he's thinking, like, God damn, boy, girl, that girl, fucking sexy. Moraine's feeling that too.
Okay, I wasn't quite thinking that way. But it is a good point though, because she's kind of like, I've got a great responsibility. This is my responsibility, and his responsibility is making sure I get to fulfill that. And she's also kind of like, and you've got a separate responsibility that we're not telling you about yet, but that's a separate responsibility. And now she's realizing, shit, he's kind of falling for someone here, and that will shift his priorities, his like moral compass, his whatever he's got to do. And it's pretty smart straight away. She's kind of like, no, why don't you just go with wenches and taverns and pump and dump and just leave it there? And he's like, no, I quite like this one. It's like, fuck's sake. And she's a bitch. She doesn't like me. Go with Egwene. Egwene likes me. Why don't you go with her?
Well, look, Egwene is spoken for.
She's not.
Yeah, right. Aram, right? Idiots. The tinker. That's where she's going.
Yeah, exactly.
But the little bit we've learned of Lan, he doesn't give me the type that wants a whore. He seems more noble. He wants a noble woman.
For sure. No, but I think just meant on her side. Yeah, I think on her side, she'd just be like, if you need that, then just get that out your system, blah, blah, blah. Whereas you're right, he is more noble. So he's like, no, I'm fine. But if I fall in love with someone, then I fall in love with someone. And that's
the heart wants what the heart wants, man.
Hey, like I said, bro, a couple chapters back, that lady wanted Rand, but y'all keep saying no.
That's fake news. Fake news. She didn't want a weird threesome with Rand. That's not what was going on.
Oh, no. Anyway. She only sends the husband to sleep in the barn.
I like this comment. Bella has Terangrial horseshoes. Meaning she has magical Aes Sedai horseshoes. That's great.
I'll tell you the comment I liked in the chat that I wasn't reading, Lou, so don't worry. Was Alan after we were talking about Lan. That made me crack up.
Alan.
We're almost done, guys. Come on, we can muster through this.
Well, that's so
on track. Good work, Lou.
Yeah, I'm not good at that. Well, you guys let me be in charge. We'll see what happens. So Nynaeve is immediately, where's Rand and Matt, and she wants to know where they are. And, I'm not sure who says it, but they're like, nah, we got to go first before we do all this. So they take off the cloaks, the white cloaks. As they're riding away, heading south, the wolves start to fade away. They bid farewell. Until next time, wolf brother, they say, we will meet again someday, or something to that effect.
Yeah. And boy, did Perrin harp on that fucking little saying. Jesus Christ.
It bothered him for some reason, because now he's got to expect something.
It's like, yo, they're just saying, we'll meet again. That's it. Move on. Don't sit there and dwell on it.
I like that though, because he's kind of been fighting against it the whole time, and then he's kind of been like, it's actually been pretty helpful. And now you kind of realize he's like, oh, I like being part of a pack and having, kind of my brothers out there and what have you. So I think that's a nice kind of dichotomy. But also what I think is great is it's Robert Jordan being like, all right, guys, no more of that for a while, okay? Literally, it's him going, we're not going to do that for a bit, so don't expect it going forward. I'll let you know when it's back. So
don't worry.
Exactly. Yeah,
I gave you that subtle hint.
The wolves are clocking out for now.
Yeah, literally.
No
more wolves.
We'll see him again.
Exactly. Nobody. Luke, none of that. So, okay.
Luke, could you imagine if there's a bit with Matt where they just go, and then Matt looked at his dagger and then looked at Rand and went, no dagger for a bit, Rand, and Rand went, okay, Matt.
No, that's a good point. Yeah, the Robert Jordan was like, all right, we're going to put that away for a minute. So they're heading south. Lan does land things, where he rides ahead a little bit, rides back a little bit. He doesn't see any pursuit. He's kind of happy about that. And Perrin wonders, again, what does that mean? We just talked about it a little bit. So he's, why is he harping on the wolf thing? What's really going on? Was he wearing Child Blair's cloak earlier? And so Lan leads. So they find
because he's got wolf nose. Leave him alone.
Yeah, he said he smelled them on it. Yeah, that's great.
The stench. He got the hobo stench.
The hobo stench. So Lan leads them to a thicket where they build a fire and they bury the cloaks. and the parent realizes he was wearing child buyer's clothes. It creeps him out. He literally makes him feel dirty. He wipes his hands off on his clothes. Like, fuck, man. So that guy, that's, Buyer did something to parent a little bit there. Made him feel.
He abused him,
as we say sometimes.
Yeah, child abuse,
Yes.
bro. Child abuse.
We're going to get to even more of that. But Nynaeve again goes, well, now that we got a second, where is Matt and Rand? And Moraine answers Camelin. And Nynaeve doesn't really like that answer. She
Under
says,
her
even if
breath,
they're
she
not
goes,
there,
probably. She goes, Camelin,
Yes.
and she goes, probably.
maybe.
Probably.
And if they're not there, she'll find them because that's the way we do things. We're going to find them. It's too important not to find them. And Nynaeve sees Perrin off at, sitting over by himself, pondering like he does. And Nynaeve says to him, I heard you took a beating. They say you got hurt pretty bad, basically. And then so he's like, oh, shit, takes his shirt off, and he has been beaten. Like, Nynaeve's even shocked to see bruises on bruises, how bad it hurt. And during all of that time, it had
insert Matt Mead joke here.
I did so good avoiding any inside jokes, but it's a good one.
I'm lost.
So
Mate, don't worry.
she reaches into her bag of ointments and herbs and pouches and things, and basically breaks out some icy hot, starts rubbing it in. She tells us what it's all made of.
That's exactly what I thought.
And we get the description of icy hot. If you've ever had to put that on any like back pain or joint pain, it's like there's a menthol cooling feeling, and then there's a burning hot soothe it away thing, and it will make you both shiver and sweat at the same time. But I also suspect that there was a little bit of the power might have been going on here too, because as she wipes the ointment on, she was like, "Why would they hate you so much?" Like, she's a little upset, and then she can see, or her parent sees, like, the bruises kind of just disappear, and all the pain did melt away. And I personally think it was a part of the power, but
I think she was like intending on healing him with the ointments, and because she is now connected, she's able to unintentionally tap into it and used a little bit through being like, I really want this ointment to work really, really, really well. Really, really. Oh, okay. It worked really well.
Abracadabra.
Yeah.
It's been her whole life pretty much. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, exactly. Michael. Nice, Berg, spot on, mate. Exactly what Moraine kind of called her out for. She's like, "Oh, yeah, when you use stuff that worked a bit too well," and she's like, "Yeah, I accidentally like cured something that was already getting cured." Like with the whooping cough or whatever, she cured it a day earlier, even though it was going to be fine. But she kind of managed
bonitis fever or something like that.
Yeah,
like
something like that. Yeah.
It was something weird, but that looks scarier than it was, and. Yeah, another little neat kind of callback to that. You see her actually heal Perrin here, inadvertently using the power again, where she's very reluctant to even admit to herself that she can do that. And then we go through this snarky part where, because I think Perrin asks Nynaeve a question like, "Oh, so what's the plan? What are we doing next?" To that effect, and then Nynaeve goes on, "Well, she says that we're going to Camelin, and she says that the boys will be fine, and she says," and like really is like driving it home that she does not like Moraine. And Perrin cracks a smile at that because of all the things, at least that is still consistent and normal, is Nynaeve not liking Moraine and being herself. And Nynaeve kind of calls him on it, like, "What are you laughing at?" A little bit, and then notices his eyes. She drops her bag and sees, grab him by his eye and starts doing this. "What's wrong with you?" Doing straight up, like he's got something really wrong. And we find out explicitly that Perrin's eyes have a yellow iris now. The pupils are black, the iris is yellow, and the whites are red.
Catches that first, right? Nynaeve catches it first. She's like, "You haven't got fever. It can't be yellow, blah, blah, fever." And then Moraine's like, "Holy shit." Yeah.
Right. Moraine snuck up on both of them. And Perrin's like, "Oh, it's nothing." Like, totally like, "Don't worry about it."
New
you guys don't need
contacts.
to worry
New
about it.
contacts. That's all it is. Don't worry about it.
Exactly. Yeah, I got these at Hot Topic.
Buyer
so I can
pissed in
look
my
at them.
eyes. Leave me alone.
Oh, yeah. That's likely, right? You know, he's that kind of guy that would say something to that effect. And Moraine sneaks up on them and says, "Oh, a change in the pattern," you know, and as said that she couldn't have predicted this. Nobody would have predicted this. This wasn't in any prophecy or anything like that. And the wheel weaves as the wheel wills. And so now Nynaeve and Moraine are having a conversation about Perrin right over his head. And again, another thing, this is another reoccurring joke in the book sometimes, or in a few times. Hey, I'm right here. You can talk to me. Mm-hmm. I'm pretty sure this has happened to Robert Jordan a lot. I know it's happened to me where women are having a conversation about you in front of you. And you're not, your decisions are completely irrelevant. And so I think it's bothering Perrin a little bit because I don't think he's dealt with that so much, especially as an adult. But Moraine also looks in his eyes, holds him by his face, checks him out. This is something that's really old. We've been told that before. So, it's not an illness. It's a change in the pattern, but which hand is creating this change? Dun, dun, dun. Nynaeve and Moraine get into a little bit of spat, and Moraine ends the thing with "what is," which is a favorite phrase around these parts. And so Moraine and Nynaeve kind of walk off into the other room, and Perrin has a thought of that Moraine knows. She knows what it is. She knows that he can communicate with the wolves, and that she thinks it might be a product of the Dark One. And so Lan sees Perrin there and kind of is being Lan, wants to comfort him, I suppose. But Lan asks him questions. He's like, well, did you meet a guide or anything like that? And so Perrin explains what had happened. He met Elias Mintra in the woods. It turns out Lan knows who Elias is.
Well, correction, he just says Elias, and then Elias says Elias Mintra. And then
Perrin confirms it.
Yeah, because he's like, wait, you know who I'm talking about?
Yeah.
And then he gives him a little story, which was an intriguing story.
And we got Elias lore. He's like, yeah, I knew him. He taught me a lot about the Blight. And so that's one of the first times I think we hear about the Blight. And he taught me a lot about this. And Lan puts his hand on his sword, like he taught him how to fight. And then Lan starts to explain a little bit more. And he's like, well, yeah, after the thing had happened, Red Aja kind of, and then looks over at Moraine and bites his tongue and doesn't explain too much more after that.
He goes into politics.
He said he used to be a warder.
There's faction. Yes. We find out that Elias was a warder and that something happened. And you need to understand that not all Aes Sedai are the same. Even though they're in the White Tower, there's factions of Aes Sedai and there's factions within the factions. So, he was trying to explain what happened to Elias without putting anybody out, really, I think. He was trying to be, what's the word I'm looking for, diplomatic about the White Tower, saying that Elias basically got chased out of the White Tower by the Red Aja, but he didn't explicitly say that, but it's kind of what we're supposed to be getting. And we also know that Elias may have hurt people on his way out, so you can kind of get the story, but you don't get every detail. Fantastic character, though, in my opinion. Again, we'll see him later, maybe, with the wolves, right? They're on hiatus.
They will return in Secret Wars.
Well, we know Elias didn't die in the fight with the White Cloaks because he got an email with him sleeping next to a fire.
Exactly. So. It's all digital community.
Pup date. He got a pup date. Come on.
A pup date. Oh, I like that. Very nice.
Yep, we're going to be using that one.
And so Perrin kind of, yes, we will. So Perrin kind of asks him, is this from the Dark? Is this the Dark One? And he explains to him, no, I don't think it is, because both Elias and Lan say to Perrin, this is older than that. This is Lan explicitly says here that this talent is older than before people found out where the Dark One was. So it could be something that may have influenced it from the dark side, but it's not explicitly. It could lead down a dark path if he's not careful. Like Lan's trying to explain it to him, especially that currently the pattern is making the lace of ages. That was explicitly said too. It's weaving a very complex web. Lots of things are happening, and if the Dark One can touch and influence the pattern, we don't know what it is capable of. But you shouldn't worry, Blacksmith, because we'll continue to fight. No matter what happens, we're going to keep fighting, you and I. Because the barriers are thinning, and he's worried that, like, the pattern, we could be heading into dark days. It could be the end of days. It could be the end of time itself. So we better find your friends in Camelin. Like he tells them that we need to find them in order to, make sure they're safe. And he's like, well, why wouldn't they be safe? It's because they don't got an Aes Sedai protecting them. And if the Dark One can nudge in one direction or the other just a little bit, a chance here, maybe meet somebody there, they could be getting turned to the shadow right now as we speak because they've been alone to make their own decisions. And we've already seen how Matt has been acting. He's very negative and upset. There's definitely a dark influence going on there. And so Perrin said, well, shit, man, we better get to our boys and save them. He's like, well, didn't you just hear what I just said? No, that's what we're doing. We're on our way. So go get some sleep, Blacksmith. And it's kind of where that chapter ends. We close out a little bit right there. Perrin gets a nap in, and now we know that this group is together. We got Lan, Moraine, Nynaeve, Egwene, and Perrin. We got 5 of our 7 together, right? 8, 7, or 8? I can't count. 7.
8 with Bella.
5, 8 with Bella. We'll count Bella too. Mandar. Annie?
I would say Tom's currently dead, so he's not in the group.
R.I.P.
Nobody.
Oh, yes, that was our 8th. That's right. I remembered the number 8 for some reason. Thank you. That was it.
Yeah,
so
Tom's currently dead, so that's unfortunate.
So are you guys happy?
I said currently dead. He's busy being dead right now.
He's busy being
nobody.
dead.
Once he's not dead, he'll get back to you, Lou. All right?
Exactly.
He'll return in Doomsday.
He's going to leave you a voicemail in Doomsday. Yes. So far so good. What do you guys think about this chapter? Not too bad, right? We're coming. We split up a little bit, and now we're coming back together. We're 2/3 of the way back together. What did you think about the White Cloaks and how they treated Perrin and all of that? Now that we're away from them, oh boy, we got a lot of White Cloaky lore. We got a little bit of who Elias was. We met an Ogier loyal. He's great. We know Rand looks like an Aiel, even though we haven't met any of the Aiel men that they were talking about. He's not dead. He's just ghosting. Boom. Yeah, Annie, thoughts on our 3 chapters here?
So I think all 3 of these chapters are pretty great. Even though I did agree with Lou that the middle chapter could have been removed, I don't think, removing anything is necessary. It would have been removed already if it needed to be removed. So,
it wasn't a show.
That's a show. It's a different thing, Lou. That's a whole different thing.
It's still funny.
Thank you, Annie.
It's a different thing. I really liked meeting Loyal. That was cool. I would be interested to see where he goes in the story because he got declined to be added to the party, but I imagine it will be a reluctant agreement sort of a thing where he goes anyway. We'll see where it goes. I'm glad we're getting a little bit more of the dynamic between Nynaeve and Lan. Would like to see if that's not just a will they, won't they type of thing for the audience to be like, ooh, because otherwise it's just being a dick. You don't need to cut all that shit out then, because you're just fucking with me, the reader. Then, okay. And then we got the cool breakout of the prison scene, which went really nicely because we didn't get to see the breakout side of it. We got to see the the cell part of the breakout. It got set up, and then once the breakout started with the lightning, Nynaeve left, and then it went to the perspective of them already being broken out, where Bayer is being knocked out with a swift combo. I think all of these chapters are pretty great. They did nice. Perrin dirty though, like they treated him a little bit too harshly. Sure, he killed 2 guys, but like, come on,
only 2.
Exactly, only 2.
Again, it's fun listening to this stuff. I'm enjoying it. Even though kind of when Nynaeve comes on the scene, I tune out a little bit. He's just so fucking annoying. They nailed her.
I understand.
They nailed her perfectly in the show, too, because god damn, boy, was she annoying. But I'm finally glad we got our ogre. Because I found him to be the most interesting character, even in the show. Like he comes off as interesting, a peaceful being, but yet you could tell there's a dark side to him. Pineapple.
Your turn.
Wow. No, it's absolutely amazing. I'm glad that we're kind of out of the White Cloaks. It's one of those things again where I forget so much. When the pup date got sent through, We Come or what have you, and then like, oh great, like. And then lands there and you're like, oh, yeah. And in my head, I'm like, oh, yeah, that's what happened. Like, there's not more.
Yeah, help comes, not necessarily I come. Yeah, no, which makes me question the blur that passed Nynaeve when she's leaving on Bella. What wolf was that? And where was that wolf going? And it wasn't a wolf. And what if it wasn't a wolf, what was the blur? So, because there was no wolf in that scene, really.
Sure. Yeah, no. So, I love it, and you know me, I'm a fan of the filler chapters as well. So I thought it was a nice combination that we got a bit of everything today. It is wrapping up. I know we've still got another 5 episodes, but it is kind of wrapping up. I think it does get a bit more fast paced soon as well. So kind of hold on to your britches because it's going to get good, even more good. Like I've enjoyed it, but yeah, no complaints, and another Perrin chapter, so tick for me as well.
Yeah. Prior to the show, I mentioned to Annie, I was like, oh, I think you're going to like this next chapter. And she responded which chapter is a bad chapter. And I had to think about it. And I was like, okay, I'll just say the one where Perrin checks his pockets. After watching up on the side of the river, he's just like, okay, I got some string. But there really isn't like a bad chapter where you're just like, ugh. There's characters that make you go, ugh. There's a bit of filler where you're just like, okay, but it's not bad. You know, it's set dressing and traveling. We got to get from point A to point B, and this dude has to fill out, we got 50 chapters in this book, but it could have been 40 maybe. But again, at the expense of little details and world building and flavor and making it feel real and lived in, and like it could actually be the opposite end of our wheel.
They could have just combined, 38 and 39, and it probably would have been a little more enjoyable because, again, it's just like, don't give me the woman perspective and then switch it back to the man to do all the voices for the next chapter, because it's kind of like taking away from her talent.
I disagree. Not with the taking away from talent bit. That's fine. I mean, I disagree with kind of having something that can split it in the middle. Have a little breaker between it, because there are some epic chapters, and we definitely had one really good chapter here. Potentially two, like if you include the first one, that was pretty good as well. And if you just had big hefty chapters after chapters, Lou, it would be a bit much, especially for how we're doing it. So it's kind of a bit of a blessing, that we've kind of fell on it this way, because we kind of had a good chapter followed by a little pit break chapter followed by a really good chapter. I think it'd be a bit too much if there was kind of like really good chapter, but long, really good chapters. So personal preference, right? But I think it worked out all right.
You'll get that long one next week.
And that's the thing. You got to be careful of that. Like I mentioned to Pineapple, I hit the first prologue and the first chapter of a later book, and it's literally 2 hours. There's an hour-long prologue and an hour-long chapter 1.
Oh god damn! So we're gonna be fucking 3 hours into a fucking book.
That's what I mean. Like, so, like, if we, and this is way down the line anyway, though, if we get that far, like, we'll be able to figure it out. Because even still, these were shorter chapters, and here we are at 2 hours.
When we get that far.
Yes. Well, I always am hopeful, so we'll see. Here we are at 2 hours then. Let's do the plugs. We'll go around the same horn. Annie, then Lou, then Echo, and then we'll get the hell out of here and go have some lunch or whatever.
I would like to plug my YouTube channel. Go follow my YouTube channel at Insanity. That's INSANNEITY.
You can catch me here with Spurg next week, Tuesday at 1 p.m. You could also catch me on my YouTube channel at Lou the Monster 2 because some asshole ruined my first one.
Sorry about that.
Yes, I apologize too. That people aren't nice. Mr. Pineapple, what do you got going on this week?
Me doing it. Yeah, I've got loads going on as always, but you can follow me at American Cupcake. I just need 36 more followers to hit the 500. So give me a follow, show some love, and that'd be great.
They should all be in the description as well, like straight links just to click and take you right to the channels. White Chalky, thank you for hanging out. Thank you for you guys for hanging out and talking book club. I really enjoy this. It's probably my second favorite thing to do during the week other than sleep. So you guys stay blessed and have a good one. And we'll see you next time. Annie, do you want to hit the end button for us?
See ya.
Sure. Bye.
We wear the footsteps of our fathers, the trail blazed by our mothers. They bought the land with their blood, Lord, long ago, long ago. Aiel, Ogiers, and AudioBooks. Oh my, oh sing of Manetheret. Oh, we for the blood of Aiel. Oh, cry for Manetheret. Long ago, long ago. Aiel, Ogiers, and AudioBooks. Oh my. Oh, sing of Manetheret. Oh, weep for the blood of Ammon. Oh, cry for Manetheret. Long ago, long ago. Aiel, Ogiers, and AudioBooks.